The Las Vegas Raiders are not moving like a team that plans to stay at the bottom. That is what nobody wants to admit. A team that looked lost a few months ago suddenly has Clint Kubiak running the building, Kirk Cousins taking the first snaps, Fernando Mendoza waiting as the future, Tyler Linderbaum changing the middle of the offensive line, and Max Crosby still wearing silver and black after the whole league thought his story might end somewhere else. This does not feel like a normal rebuild. It feels like a franchise trying to skip the slow part. But here is the twist. The biggest story is not just Fernando Mendoza being the new face. It is how carefully the Raiders built the room around him before asking him to carry it. Kirk Cousins gives the offense a veteran voice. Ashton Jeanty gives them a real backfield threat. Brock Bowers gives them a matchup problem defenses already respect. Jalen Naylor adds speed outside. Then on defense, Rob Leonard gets Max Crosby, Key Walker, Nakobe Dean, Kwity Paye, Malcolm Kuntz, and Taron Johnson inside a unit that no longer looks thin. That is not random spending. That is a team trying to change its floor fast. The strange part is how quiet the respect still feels. The AFC West sees Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, Justin Herbert, and 3 teams that already believe they are built to punish mistakes. So, the Raiders do not get the benefit of hype yet. They have to earn it the hard way. But the pieces are no longer empty names on a depth chart. The quarterback plan has layers. The offense has a spine. The defense still has its heartbeat. And the question sitting over everything is simple. If Fernando Mendoza is the future in Las Vegas, why is Kirk Cousins standing in front of him right now? The real bet in Las Vegas is not only the quarterback room. It is Clint Kubiak being trusted to fix the whole feeling of the offense. That matters because bad teams often chase the loudest name first, then hope the plan shows up later. The Raiders did the reverse. They chose the coach, chose the system, then started collecting pieces that fit the job. That is why Andrew Giannakko matters more than most people will notice. He gives Kubiak another offensive voice who understands quarterback development and daily teaching. This staff is not built to chase one wild play. It is built to clean up timing, spacing, protection calls, and simple answers when the pocket gets tense. John Spytek did not spend like a man trying to win one headline. He spent like a general manager trying to stop the weekly collapse before it starts. Now pressure moves from hope to proof. Mark Davis opened the door for a real reset, and Kubiak has to turn structure into points. The league will not care how smart the plan looks in May. The AFC West will force the truth out early. If this offense finally looks calm, fast, and organized, the entire conversation around Las Vegas changes. But if the plan is real, the quarterback choice becomes even more interesting because the future is wearing a helmet behind the veteran. And that is where Fernando Mendoza starts becoming more than a draft story. He becomes the reason patience suddenly matters most. The Fernando Mendoza question is not as simple as people want it to be. Yes, he is the first overall pick. Yes, he is the future of Las Vegas. But throwing him into the fastest division in football before the offense is steady would be reckless. That is why Kirk Cousins matters. He is not here to steal the story. He is here to keep the story from rushing itself. A veteran quarterback can change a building without becoming the long-term answer. Cousins knows how to set protections, manage tempo, and get the offense out of bad looks before the snap. That gives Mendoza something many young quarterbacks never receive: time to watch the league move at full speed before it becomes his problem. The Raiders are not hiding him. They are protecting the investment they made when they put his name at the top of the board. The pressure will still come. Every incomplete pass from Cousins will make fans call for Mendoza. Every practice clip will turn into a debate. That is normal. But the smart play is not always the loud one. If Kubiak times this correctly, Mendoza enters when the offense has rhythm, not panic. And when that happens, the most important person beside him will not be a receiver or a coach. It will be the center paid to make his life simpler. That one detail is why the next move looks expensive on paper, but much smarter inside the actual offense. The Tyler Linderbaum signing is the kind of move people laugh at until the season starts. Paying a center massive money sounds boring if you only care about highlights. But for the Raiders, this was not about winning March. It was about giving the offense a real starting point. Every run call, every protection check, every clean pocket begins with trust in the middle. That trust matters even more in a Clint Kubiak offense. His run game needs linemen who can move, reach, climb, and keep timing alive. Linderbaum has been one of the best in football at exactly that. Put him in front of Ashton Jeanty, and the ground game gets cleaner. Put him with Kirk Cousins, and the checks get sharper. Put him beside Fernando Mendoza later, and the young quarterback gets help before the ball is even snapped. That is why the contract tells the truth. Las Vegas did not pay for a name. It paid for control. Last season, too many drives died before the skill players had a chance to matter. Now the Raiders can build from the inside out, with Linderbaum setting the tone. If the line finally stops the bleeding, every weapon around it becomes more dangerous. And that pressure flips straight to the other side, where the defense almost lost its heartbeat. Because when the offense can stay on the field, Max Crosby and that new front are not asked to save every single possession alone anymore. The strangest part of the Max Crosby story is how close Las Vegas came to losing the one defender every opponent fears first. For a moment, it looked like the Raiders were ready to turn their best pass rusher into draft capital and start over. Then the Baltimore Ravens walked away from the deal, and suddenly the whole defense kept its pulse. That matters because Crosby is not just another edge rusher. He sets the mood of the team. He plays with the kind of force that pulls everyone else into the fight. A new defense under Rob Leonard needed that. Leonard knows the building, knows the front, and knows how much easier every call gets when the offense has to slide help toward Crosby. That creates chances for Kwity Paye, Malcolm Kuntz, and the rest of the rush. The failed trade may end up being the break this team needed. Las Vegas kept a player worth huge draft picks without giving him away. Now Crosby gets help instead of another year spent carrying the whole front alone. That changes the ceiling of the defense. It also raises the standard. If the Raiders want to stop being viewed as a soft landing on the schedule, this is where it begins. With pressure, speed, and two linebackers who already know what winning together feels like. Their arrival gives Leonard more than new names. It gives him chemistry in the middle, and that is hard to fake under real pressure. The Georgia connection in Las Vegas is not a cute side note. It is a real football clue. Key Walker and Nakobe Dean have already shared big games, hard practices, and a championship standard before arriving with the Raiders. That matters for a defense learning new rules under Rob Leonard. Familiar voices make a new room settle faster. Walker brings range. He can run, scrape, and clean up plays that used to turn into easy yards. Dean brings a different type of energy, quicker triggers, strong instincts, and the kind of leadership linebackers need when the offense starts using motion and misdirection. Together, they give Leonard more flexibility between the numbers. Add Kwity Paye to the edge rotation, keep Max Crosby as the tone setter, and suddenly the front no longer feels one-dimensional. This is where the defense starts to look connected. Eric Stokes staying helps the corner group. Taron Johnson gives the slot a proven veteran presence. Malcolm Kuntz adds another piece to the rush. Nobody in this group has to pretend the job is easy. The AFC West will test them with real quarterbacks and real speed. But the Raiders finally have enough movement to answer back. And the deeper reason this rebuild feels different is that the young players are not afterthoughts anymore. They are waiting behind the veterans, ready to push. That second wave is where Las Vegas can turn a decent reset into something much louder by mid-season. The rookie class tells you how serious the Raiders were about changing more than one room. Fernando Mendoza is the headline because quarterbacks always own the spotlight, but this class stretches across the roster. Trayden Stukes adds safety and nickel flexibility. Kieran Crawford brings pass rush upside. Jermud McCoy gives the secondary another young corner with real talent. That balance matters. Mike Washington Jr. gives the backfield more burst behind Ashton Jeanty. Trey Zune III adds another body to the offensive line fight. Dalton Johnson brings safety depth. Hezekiah Masses adds more competition at corner. Malik Benson gives the receiver room speed, and Brandon Cleveland adds size inside the defensive front. This is not one pick trying to carry an entire rebuild. This is a front office taking swings at several pressure points at once. The key is patience, but not slow patience. Las Vegas needs useful snaps quickly from this group, even if the stars take time. Mendoza can learn behind Kirk Cousins. Stukes can fight for packages. Crawford can chase a rush roll. McCoy can push the corner room. When young players raise the bottom of the roster, the whole team feels different on Sunday. That is why the schedule matters so much. The Raiders are not entering a soft division. They are walking into a weekly test that will expose every weak spot. And that test starts fast, before the new pieces get much time to breathe. The AFC West is where every Raiders idea gets judged. Not in spring talk, not in draft grades. On the field, against teams that already know how to punish confusion. Patrick Mahomes still makes every mistake feel expensive. Justin Herbert brings size, arm talent, and a coach who wants to win ugly. Bo Nix gives Denver a confident young passer with a team built to support him. That is why the Raiders' schedule feels like a trap and an opportunity at the same time. Miami comes first. Then the road sends Las Vegas straight into Los Angeles against the Chargers. Kansas City arrives early enough to test whether this new structure can handle pressure before it fully settles. Later, the bye gives the staff a chance to breathe, adjust, and decide how close Fernando Mendoza is to taking control if Kirk Cousins has not locked the job down. No one has to call the Raiders contenders today. That would be forced. But calling them the same broken team from last season is lazy. Clint Kubiak gives the offense a plan. Tyler Linderbaum gives the front a core. Max Crosby keeps the defense dangerous. Key Walker, Nakobe Dean, and Kwity Paye give Rob Leonard more ways to attack. The truth is coming quickly. If Las Vegas survives the early punch, nobody will want to admit how dangerous this reset became. The league may not be ready to respect the silver and black, but wins change that argument fast.